Sir.
Tony Lee. I'm 53 years old, a family man, and I'm a self-employed tennis coach.
And a Rabbitohs supporter, I see.
And a Rabbitohs supporter.
We all have our problems. But go ahead.
As such, I understand budgeting and cost cutting, and I believe that there's an awful lot of waste in society at the moment. Pardon me. I think the crisis has come out of greed and our life of excess, and I think the 10.4 billion, while necessary, is probably it may just be a temporary measure, sort of a band-aid solution, something that might help us every year from now on. Might be the fact that we're very over-governed in this country. And I think that there's duplications between federal and state government. I believe that we should remove state government, and I would like your...
Starting where we're going.
Portfolios like health and education, and I would like you to consider a referendum to consider the issue. Section 128 of the Constitution, I believe, covers it. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Is that the Rabbitohs? They sort of came up with that idea. On the waste and duplication between the Commonwealth and the states, and to some extent between the states and local government, you're dead right. It's a problem. I'm not going to stand in front of you folk and say, hey, look, it's all fine and dandy. It's not. I've just spent 9 months with the premiers and chief ministers since basically the first month I was elected, and we've met now 3 times to deal with this question. The rubber will hit the road, and I'm not going to guarantee the outcome yet because I don't know whether they will agree with it, in the middle of November on health and hospitals. We'll either come up with a system on health and hospitals which is properly funded long term, but secondly deals with this mindless duplication and overlap between primary health care, that is, preventative health care, what you do at accident emergency, what you do in acute care hospitals, what you do with aged care, what you do with dental care. Because what I find across the system is basically it's the blame game. It's people selling each other hospital passes the whole time, literally, rather than anyone taking responsibility. So you've got to clean up the lines of responsibility about who does what, fund it properly for the long-term future. But I've said before, and I said it prior to the last election, if we can't get there with a decent, rational system for the future, I've said that next year I would make a decision about whether we went to the people through a referendum about the Commonwealth taking over the hospitals. I've said that, but we've got a way through yet. Follow up. Should we confine ourselves to that, though?
Well, it's a fairly big one to bite off to start with. I'm determined to throw everything I can at fixing this, fixing the Federation, to get rid of, to the absolute greatest extent possible, waste and duplication, and to clean up the lines of responsibility about who does what. And plan B, at least for health and hospitals, is as I've described, which is to go to the people. And we'll make that decision next